Welcome to the Wellness Business Success Secrets Summit. I am so excited because we are here with Dennis Kotner. And I have to tell you, Dennis is one of the extra special guests, extra special experts, because he's going to help us unveil a lot of things that we have questions about. And the purpose of that is because Dennis is the National Program Director and co-owner of the Take It Off Weight Loss Program, which he's spent 15 years as the owner and operator of his own licensed weight loss program, which is called Healthy Woman. But he walks the talk, and he is somebody that you definitely want to be listening to because he knows what he's experienced this, and he doesn't just go off of assumption or off of statistics or anything like that. It's based off of real, actual people. And so he brings a wealth of hands-on experience to licensees with the Take It Off Weight Loss Program, but then also to people that are within other wellness industries. So, Dennis, you have a huge, extensive experience in being your own licensed, having your own licensed program, but then also now you are owning an online virtual weight loss program that is just profound. So, with that, with your background that you have in this, so how did you find your way to this, to doing this? I mean, to me, for somebody to come up with, oh, I really want to do this, and wake up every morning and say, yes, this is what I want to do, there's something that had to bring you to this place.
Yeah, well, first off, thank you for the nice introduction, Jasper. My wife and I wanted to open up a business in our market that really dealt with health and wellness. And we didn't know specifically at the time that it was going to be weight loss, but my wife being in nursing, and I had quite a bit of entrepreneurial experience up to the point that we started Healthy Woman. We just kind of looked around at the market to see what our city offered and what it didn't offer, and we just saw a huge void in weight loss. You know, you have the national chains, but people tend to burn through those. You know, they go from one to the next to the next. We call that, like chain dieting. And then at that time, Curves was really big, and that was really popular with the women. But people were not losing weight on that program. I mean, truly, it wasn't a weight loss program, so it shouldn't have come as any surprise. But what we did was we looked at the trends and we looked at the voids, and we took the trend of women's only facility, the exercise component that company offered at the time certainly was a good exercise component for weight loss, but they were missing what we call the 80%, and that's the eating, and really teaching people how to eat properly and to support them, giving them that full service one-on-one support that most people need. So we looked at this program as a perfect fit in our market. It was something that my wife and I could work on together. And we started with 0 clients, and 15 years later, we've had thousands go through the program. So it was quite the journey, but very rewarding, very rewarding.
How did you attract your clients from 0 to now like thousands? How did you do that?
Well, and that's the thing is, you don't have a crystal ball that says, oh, this is what's going to happen a year from now or 5 years from now. We literally took it, we had our game plan, but we took it day by day, week by week, month by month. And the reason why we were successful in attracting, in this case, women to our weight loss program was because there was a market for it. So we essentially proved our suspicions and our research correct. Kind of like, the previous owner of our company used to say, if you build it, they will come only happens in the movies. And she's absolutely correct. You can't just hang your shingle and expect people to come walking through. But we knew that we had hit a bullseye with the wants and the needs of our community when we did our targeted marketing and we got response from it. And you also know that you're onto something when you start getting referrals, because as everyone knows, word of mouth is the most powerful form of advertising. We were getting that. So, it's not as if we got out of the gate and spent tens of thousands of dollars on advertising. We literally did it organically, person by person. Yes, we did some external marketing, but we didn't have a huge budget. So we really relied on getting people results. And when these women got results, they referred us. They referred, people to the program. So
Yeah, referrals are huge. especially when they see that person change and they want to have exactly what they've had. So that's great. So you had good stories. So that's
Oh yeah,
wonderful.
yeah,
That's wonderful. So
yeah. Mhm.
how would you compare? I mean, since you were able to create really good stories that were compelling for people that attracted them to want to, have the same results, how would you compare the fitness market to the weight loss market and who they are attracting as new clients and how those clients are being serviced?
Yep. And we had to take a look at the fitness industry as a competitor because what I learned is that if someone joined a gym, they probably weren't as likely to join a weight loss program because in their mind, they're thinking, I'm doing something about my weight. I joined a gym. So we didn't look at them as a direct competitor, but we did look at them as what we call a fringe competitor, definitely taking a piece of the pie. Um, and the mentality that we saw that was different with our program is that they were ready to make some real changes to their eating. I don't think they were under any illusion that they would be able to exercise the weight off because, well, first off, a lot of them didn't have a lot of experience with exercise or really didn't like exercising. They were more deconditioned, I think is the way to put it, with not as much experience. Someone that isn't as likely to walk into a gym, join, and then hop on the treadmill, the elliptical machine. They wanted kind of a safe haven, a place where they felt supported, but where they could look around and say, "Oh, okay, this is these are my peers. These are um, other women that are looking to make real lifestyle changes." I do think that gyms are more likely to attract the quick fix mentality, whereas we make it clear, we always made it clear that it wasn't going to be a quick fix. And so that was something that they really latched onto. We didn't have to candy coat it and say, hey, you're going to get from here to here in this short period of time. They were ready. So it really is. It's a different market altogether. The woman that walks into our market is into our weight loss facility is not someone that's going to be likely to walk into it.
Right, and even if they do walk into a gym, they aren't going to have the weight loss results because they don't have the knowledge to back it up what they need regarding the difference between fitness and weight loss. So, with that in mind, why don't more health clubs and wellness businesses have a weight loss program to help guide their clients that really need to lose weight?
So good question. I've met and gotten to know owners of gyms that do offer weight loss programs, and I've also gotten to know gym owners that don't. And I think that one of the biggest reasons why gyms are reluctant to offer a weight loss program is because they think it's bigger than it really is. They think it's more involved, that they have to make major changes to their staff, that they have to, in some cases, develop a program. I mean, can you imagine what it would take to develop a weight loss program? I mean, you'd have to hire a dietitian, nutritionist. You probably would have to, file it with your state. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it because you just can't be out there giving people nutritional advice unless you're licensed to do so. So if a gym owner, a general manager, someone that's responsible for generating revenue, it's always going to be easier to say, hey, let's just increase our personal training revenue, or let's put together more classes. They're looking at revenue that they're already tapping into, and they're just drilling down over and over and over to the same people. Um, I do think it's a lack of knowledge, and it's not their fault. It's mostly because, what are really the options that gym owners have when it comes to bringing in a weight loss program? I think a lot of them will gravitate towards, hey, we've got this empty office off to the side down the hall. Why don't we bring in a nutritionist and they can sublease the space from us? Or maybe they come up with some sort of revenue share. The only problem with that is that if that dietitian or that nutritionist leaves, they've got no one there to run the program. So
Mhm.
I think logistically, it can be difficult to wrap your head around it, but it doesn't have to be. So um, I think if something was presented to them in kind of a nice package that really made sense, that really showed them how simple it was to run a program out of their gym, I think gym or even any wellness facility, I think it would be something that they would really take a close look at.
Yeah, I can see that. So why do you think health clubs or the big box gyms just have a lot of resistance for people that have severe obesity? Is it a liability issue? I mean, what is the reason for that?
You mean in terms of them
Just a slow
attracting?
yeah, they just don't respond quickly to attracting them into their facility.
I think most gym owners would say that they would love to have that demographic because those are the individuals that really need help the most. I mean, let's face it. I mean, severe obesity is something that usually is tied in with heart disease and diabetes and truly all sorts of other health conditions. Um, it may be difficult for them to market to that group unless they really understood. And I'm not saying they don't, but if we're just looking at um, how many severely obese individuals that you will see in a gym, um, and draw some conclusions based upon that, I think it would be safe to conclude in those instances where you're not seeing a lot of those individuals that they're not attracting them. You have to create an environment that's going to be non-intimidating, and that's easier said than done. When you have literally hundreds, if not thousands, of people coming through your door every day, and if someone comes in there and if they don't identify immediately with at least one or two individuals, it's going to be really difficult for them to feel comfortable. So I think it's lack of creating a comfortable environment for that person, whether it's a man, woman, young, old, it doesn't matter. They need to feel comfortable. And I think it's a real challenge for gym owners to be able to do that.
Yeah, I think there's only a few that are good at doing that. Even creating a workout space that's secluded for them so that they have privacy, because they just aren't comfortable with being within their own skin because they're not their true self. So yeah, I mean, just getting into that, their psychographics and understanding that client it's also probably a huge in their mind, like you said. It sounds like a huge expense for them, which really it's not when have the right systems in place. So, where are these individuals going to get help with weight loss? Because there is a huge market. So, where are they going?
You know, one of the things that we do whenever someone joins our program is we ask them, what are some things that you've done in the past? And it's it's shocking to me how often someone will go back to a previous weight loss program, even if they didn't have the success that they were looking for the first or second time around. And it's because they really don't know where else to go. So, to answer your question, they're going to go wherever the top of mind awareness. If you were to walk up to someone and say, name 3 weight loss programs, you probably would have a pretty good idea as to what those top 3 would be. They're going to be the national chains, the national brands, the ones that are spending millions of dollars on advertising. Now, if they're able to look beyond the national chains of weight loss, they might find an individual, whether it's a dietitian or a nutritionist, or someone that's certified and has the expertise and the education. They might find them working out of a small space. Usually that's going to happen through word of mouth because a lot of them do not advertise. They just don't have the budget to be able to do that. Again, I think we've established they're really not going to gyms. So if you take the national chains out of it, you take individuals that are there working mostly on a word of mouth basis. You might find maybe an occasional what I call like a boutique gym. An individually, such as my own, an individually owned and operated. although we're not a gym here, we do have equipment for them to use. You might once in a while find an individual like that that does do personal training and also offers some sort of nutritional advice. But again, there has to be some caution involved there, because if you are a personal trainer and you are offering nutrition advice, again, it's a state by state basis, but you're really, really risking the possibility of potential lawsuit if that individual becomes ill or comes back at some point in time and says, I was given advice by this individual. It's a touchy situation to be in. So I do think they're out there, but it really, Jasper, I'm telling you, it's an untapped market. It really is.
Yeah, and you're right. They do have to be very careful with licensing and all that, because I've had my fair share of really amazing experiences and really horrible ones. Ones to where I was in the hospital, and I wasn't going to go after them or sue them because that's just not who I am. But it was pretty dangerous and huge medical bills attached to it. So yeah, they do have to be careful with that, especially if they care about the results their customers are getting. And so, what does the health club industry and other wellness program professionals they need to know about the weight loss market that they may be missing, so that they can have those different components in place, so that they aren't creating a liability for themselves, but they're able to serve their clients and attract clients that they were totally missing out on?
There are programs such as the Take It Off program that has all been boxed up, kind of in a nice little ribbon where you can open it up. You have the program, the marketing, the training, the business plan. Everything has been basically created and packaged up, and the support. If you were to compare it to an individual looking to lose weight, what are they going to look for? They're going to look for support. They're going to look for content. They're going to look for results. Who else has had results doing this? Those are all really important things. And so I think anyone that's looking to bring in a weight loss program, they really do need to take a look at not just the nuts and the bolts, which is the eating program itself. I mean, because let's face it, when it comes down to healthy eating and losing weight, I mean, they're going to be eating fruits and vegetables, and they're going to be eating proteins and healthy carbohydrates. So it's not as if there's someone out there with a secret list of foods that makes their program unique. Most really good eating programs are going to be healthy food. So spend less time analyzing the eating program and looking to see, is this on the program? Is this on the program? Look at how it's supported. Look at the marketing that's behind it. Look at the systems. I mean, we're in a systems business. And if the systems are proven and they make sense and they're workable, they're easily transferable from person to person, you definitely want to give that program some really solid thought, because you don't want to have to recreate the wheel, nor do you want to recreate the wheel. If you find a system that's proven to work, don't go in there and try to change it. But those are the things that are important. Now, with that said, I mean, the most important is who's administering the program. Now, I would assume that if there's a gym that wants to take a serious look at bringing in a weight loss program, that they've looked around their facility, they've looked at their team and said, who do we have? One or two individuals, maybe three. Who do we have that could champion this? Who could be the one that really drives it? That could be we call it a brand champion. Mm-hmm. And so, we can't forget that at the end of the day, this is a people business. And so those are the things they need to take a look at.
I love it. I love it. So you also have a special gift that you're offering to our listeners that is really going to help them in all those areas. So can you share with us what that is? And it really is, it's you walking the talk and sharing your expertise over the 15 years. And please allow us to know more.
So, in all the years we've been doing this, we have heard people year round say, I'm going to get started when fill in the blank, right? So in the wintertime, it's like when the weather gets nice, I'm going to get started. And then the weather gets nice and they say, well, I'm so busy, it's summertime. Look, it doesn't matter what time of year it is. You don't have to wait for January or February to start attracting new clients. I have seen us have great months in every month of the year. Now, that doesn't mean that every single month of the year has been great. What it means is that if we have a great August, that means that, hey, it's possible to attract people in weight loss. But to get back to what are we offering? We're offering, we've developed a website. And so anyone that subscribes every month, they're going to get very, very valuable tips on how they can unlock the hidden revenue that lies within their gym or wellness facility. Let's not forget, we're not just talking about clubs. We're talking about anyone that's working with individuals in the wellness industry. There are hidden profits that are right there within your facility that we have learned how not just to unlock, but to show them how at any month of the year, how they can break into the psyche of that individual, the psychographics, what's going on in their head. And we can get them to understand that there is no better time now. There's no better time than right now to get started on losing weight and getting healthy. So if you go to askmehowtoloseweight.com and you subscribe each month, you're going to get, and the value, by the way, Jasper, I just want to let you know, the value of this is about $197 a month. And we factor that in based upon what they can generate by implementing any one of the tips that they're going to get. Okay. In fact, if you look at what it costs to run an ad in any market, I think $197 for any type of ad is a bargain. But at the end of the day, you want to look at what is the return. The return that they will get on these tips will far exceed. But we're not asking for that $197. That's the value we place. They're going to get that absolutely free.
Nice, because I know that you have that as your normal subscription rate for that monthly webinar that you give. So that's huge. That's very generous. So thank you. I know everyone's going to love it. So yes, so thank you, Dennis. And is there anything else you'd like to add that could push somebody or get them propelled a little bit, much faster that you maybe didn't get a chance to talk about?
Well, I mean, nothing is going to fall from the sky and land in their lap that says, oh, I should do this now. I mean, they really have to, you don't want to take the same mentality that your clients take or potential clients take when it comes to weight loss. The longer you wait, the longer, I'll look at it this way. I mean, there is going to be someone in everybody's market that's going to jump on and they're going to get a weight loss program in their club, in their gym, in their chiropractic clinic, in their nutrition office, whatever it may be, that's related to the wellness business. And what's going to happen is that they're going to be the first ones to be able to, they're going to plant their flag in that market and they're going to have a big leg up on anyone else. In fact, just in our market, one of my team members came in today and said that there was a gym that was offering a 12-week, or actually 8-week, I take that back, for 28 days. That's even crazier. A 28-day program for weight loss. And, I mean, come on, 28 days? I mean, that doesn't give anyone time to make any kind of changes to their lifestyle, to their habits. But what that tells me is that people are out there looking, gym owners, general managers, they're looking, they're trying to come up with a solution. They probably don't have the right solution, but they're thinking about it, they're trying. So that would be the biggest thing is I say, you just cannot wait any longer because you will miss the boat and it's always more difficult to come in second or third. It's always an advantage to be the first one in your market to do something there. So
I agree. Well, thank you. That was wonderful. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks, Jasper.